Kim and I met about 7 years ago and quickly became friends. We both grew up in the Midwest, where we were God-fearing Christians who put only God before family. We enjoyed going to church every Sunday and making plans for our future. I was a successful engineer with a promising future, and Kim sold accounting software for a large technology firm based in Atlanta. Before we got married, my mom and dad bought me a 3-bedroom house after I graduated from college. They made a lot of money and wanted to share their success with others while they were still alive. Most people pass on their earthly possessions when they die, never being able to enjoy the happiness of the gifts they can give during their lifetime. Mom and Dad shared their blessings while they were still alive and enjoyed their shared happiness. Kim and I got married a little over 5 years ago and have been on a perpetual honeymoon ever since. Our sex life was great, and we made love at least 4 nights a week. We were soulmates, and all our friends were sick of how close and loving we were to each other. We were lucky enough to give birth to 2 beautiful blonde twin girls, and after their birth, our lives changed for the better. We devoted all our time to raising the girls and making sure they had a loving home. We had a lifestyle that others might consider boring. We ate at home most evenings, went out on Friday and Saturday nights, and went to church on Sunday. We were not interested in social life and fashion like other people our age. Kim wore conservative clothes at work and at home and indulged in anything sexual for my eyes only in our bedroom. Our relationship was based on trust and complete transparency. We never hid anything from each other, which served as a strong foundation for our marriage. Kim was one of those women who needed to show her affection, and I loved the way she lovingly touched me, kissed me, and hugged me. We enjoyed sharing our feelings with each other and enjoyed each other immensely. Raising twins can be stressful, but I enjoyed being with them as much as possible. The twins were a little stressful for Kim, but I was happy to take advantage of any weakness and help. We had a great partnership and always worked things out before either of us got upset. Life couldn't be better with Kim and my twin girls. A week before the annual exhibition, Kim was notified that they needed her to participate in the 3-day event. Due to others getting sick with the virus, they had to put Kim on the show. Of course, she tried to get out of it, but they were desperate and she had no choice. "Baby, I'm so sorry about this. I hate leaving you and the girls for 3 days. I called my boss twice and tried to get out of it, but he said he needed us all at this event. You know how much I hate leaving." I watched her pack for the trip and reassured her that we would be fine for a few days and that we would miss her. But we were there to support her. I helped her with her luggage and carried it to the limo the company had hired for the ride to the airport. Like I said, we had a perfect marriage, and I trusted her completely. I have never seen her flirt or act anything other than the perfect, loving wife. We had a completely transparent marriage, and we told each other everything. We shared our love for our children and did everything together. This is why the text I received from my colleague and friend was difficult to believe and process. It was the second night of the show when I received a message from my colleague Greg, who was at a cybersecurity event in Atlanta. "David, how's your weekend going, mate?" "I enjoy my girls." "Kim is at the exhibition, and here I am spending time with my favorite girls." "Aren't you at the security conference this weekend?" "This is true." "You said Kim was at a trade show, right? Do you know which one?" "Well, yes, it's in Atlanta this week, but I'm not sure about the name of the exhibition. Her company displays its products at the convention center." "Why did you ask?" "I'm having dinner with my group, and why are you sitting?" "This is true. What are you trying to tell me, Greg?" His message came with 2 photos and a video. I sat frozen with fear. The first photo was of my wife in an outfit I had never seen before. It was the shortest dress I've ever seen. The plunging neckline showed off her massive breasts, pumps I didn't even know existed. Her hair and makeup were flawless, and she looked stunning. In fact, I have never seen her look so sexy in my life. When I saw the first photo, I was convinced that it was a similar woman, someone who looked like Kim, but it couldn't possibly be her. I laughed to myself, thinking, I wish Kim would dress like that someday, but that's not my wife. I stopped laughing when the next photo came out, which was a close-up of her sitting very close and kissing next to Jonathan, one of her bosses she worked with. I sat there in shock, not moving, not even blinking, until the next photo appeared. It was another close-up of her smiling and looking into Jonathan's eyes. My heart stopped when I saw this message, but I tried to convince myself that there was a good explanation until a few minutes later when the next message arrived. It was a short video of my wife kissing Jonathan with her arms around his neck and his hand on her right breast. That's when my head exploded. At that moment, I felt my whole world collapse on me. Tears of pain rolled down my face as my heart raced, and I felt nauseous. A message has arrived. Friend, are you okay? What should I do? Can you see her right now? Yes. I'm going to call her right now and just check on her. I dialed her number and heard the phone ring several times before it went to voicemail. I left her a message saying we missed her and just wanted to talk to make sure she had a good night. I called Greg. I just called her. What did she do? David, I'm so sorry about this. She took her phone out of her purse, looked at the caller ID, and then put it back in her purse. Man, I can't believe it's her. I mean, I've never seen her act or dress like that. David, I never realized how hot your wife was. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's okay, Greg. Thank you for sharing this with me and not hiding it from me. You are a good friend. I'll figure it out and you don't need to interfere. If possible, do not show your face to her. Let me know if anything else happens, but don't waste any more time following her. Then I'll figure it out myself, my friend. Are you going to be okay? No, I'm far from it, but I know what I have to do, and I'll take care of it. I'm still in shock, and it will take me a while to understand everything, but you know I will. Thanks again. My pleasure. I love you, buddy. I'm here for you. Take care of yourself, Greg. Thanks again. I poured myself something stronger and sat in the dark living room, trying to understand how my world had collapsed in less than 20 minutes. I never had any idea there was a problem in our relationship. How long has this been going on? Was I really that stupid and didn't recognize the signs? No. She never gave me any reason to think that way. In fact, over the past 6 months, she has become more loving than ever. Our sex life doubled in intensity, and our relationship became stronger. It didn't make any sense, and I couldn't understand any of it. Over the next hour, Greg sent more photos and videos. There was a short video of them dancing with his hand on her ass, another short video of them kissing on the dance floor, and another photo of them kissing deeply in private on a deserted dance floor. I realized that they must have been kissing so passionately that they didn't notice the music had stopped. I knew it was over between us, but I still had so much to learn and understand. Being an engineer and a problem solver, I went into analytical mode and spent the next few days trying to come up with a plan. Surprisingly, Kim called me at 10 p.m. after their last photo arrived. I took a deep breath and tried to regain my composure. I wasn't going to give anything away or let her know that I had any idea what she was doing. Hello, dear. Sorry I missed your previous call. I was in a dinner meeting and couldn't speak. I miss you so much, baby, and I wish I could be there with you, under the covers, kissing all of you. I miss you too, Kim. I love you so much and thank you for calling. The girls are so cute, and I will send you some photos. They miss their mom and want you to come home. I tried to leave tomorrow, but my boss told me that I should stay here. I hate being away from you, darling. We'll celebrate when you get home. Are you done for today? Yes, I'm getting ready for bed and another long day of work. I love you, baby, and I will call you tomorrow. Good night, Kim. I love you more than you can imagine. And I hung up the phone as my tears started flowing again. What I said was true. I loved her more than life itself and wanted this to be a bad dream. It was already past midnight when I was lying in bed and could not sleep. I wondered if she was really in her hotel room and what she was doing. My question was answered when I received another message from Greg. It was a photo of my wife Kim and Jonathan on a sofa in what looked like a hotel lobby. It was a photo of them kissing. His hand was tucked under her short skirt and her arms were wrapped around his neck. They looked like two newlyweds sharing their love in public, so to speak. And one last thing, buddy. I'm done for today, but it looks like she'll be busy. Let me know if you want me to stop. I can break it off quite easily right now. It's hard to see, but thank you for these photos. No, let her go. It's all her fault, and you don't need to get involved. Let it go. Thanks again. I cried until I fell asleep, knowing that the love of my life had betrayed me, our marriage vows, and our girls. Sleep finally took away the pain and tears until I woke up the next morning. There were several loving messages from Kim with hearts, kisses, and emojis. She confessed her love and said how much she missed me and the girls. She told me to get ready for a wild night of sex when she returned. She acted so sweet and loving, as if nothing had happened. I started to wonder if maybe she had a dissociative disorder and didn't know what she was doing. Maybe she was drugged with something? I searched for answers, but realized I had to face the facts and plan ahead. She was due home in a few days, and I needed to deal with all of this. We talked several times a day, and everything was fine. She kept telling me how much she missed all of us and wanted to go home. I wasn't sure what angered me more. Was it because she cheated and was with another man, or was it because she cheated and lied? She took me for a fool, and it hurt as much as seeing her kiss Jonathan. After Greg's messages and the revelation that my wife had made me her cuckold, I took action. Since I was the tech guru in the family, I added some software to her phone that allowed me to find the phone if it ever got lost. Of course, I bought the latest software on the market and installed it, and even explained to Kim how to use it. This software package also included a voice recorder for recording voice, text, and email, with automatic upload to the cloud if activated. Let me be clear, I didn't install this software on my phone to spy on her, but it turned out to be useful. Before last night, I would never have thought to look into any of her personal belongings, but after last night, my trust will never be the same. I had to protect the girls and save our marriage if possible. Fortunately, the girls kept me busy and distracted me from thoughts about my crumbling marriage. Making breakfast, cleaning up after them, and playing with dolls with them was something I loved and cherished. I'm not sure if you've ever had to take care of 3-year-old twins, but let me tell you, it's quite a workout. It was 2 p.m., and I finally got the girls to take their afternoon nap. I showered and cleaned up the house before sitting down at the table to catch up. Kim sent me 6 more loving messages and said she would call me at 5 p.m. after they were done for the day. After reading them, I accessed the cloud from my laptop, logged into her account, and looked at everything that had been downloaded since I activated the recording spyware. I sat in shock as I read the messages being sent to Jonathan. Here are a few of them. You were amazing last night, baby. I can't wait to be together again tonight. Thank you, kitten. I liked it too. Can we go back to my room after we finish before dinner? Absolutely, but I need to call my husband before we go. I should be ready by 5:15. Does hubby have any idea about us? Of course not. He knows I love him, and I'll make sure he keeps thinking that. What we do is something he never needs to know about. We've kept it a secret for over 6 months, and he has no idea. I know how to handle him. Don't worry. I had to stop reading because my anger was becoming all-consuming. Kitty? Did he call her kitten? That's what I called her when we had sex and made love. Did she give him that too? Was I really that stupid and had no idea? What kind of fool was I? I dropped my laptop on a chair, jumped up, and screamed. I grabbed the lamp from the table and threw it forcefully into the wall, breaking it into 1,000 pieces. The anger I had learned to control now took over. I was about to break another lamp when I heard the girls crying. The crying brought me back to consciousness, and I immediately regained control of myself. I went into the bedroom and held both girls in my arms until they stopped crying and calmed down. I let them play in the living room while I sat down on a chair with another strong drink after cleaning up all the glass, following my temper tantrum. In my opinion, the marriage is over and it's time to take action. I didn't have the willpower to listen to their conversations anymore or look at any of the other downloaded files, so I just let them accumulate in the cloud. I decided the best course of action was to play along with Kim, just like she played with me. I intended to act like a loving husband when I formulated my plan of action. My immediate plan was to contact a divorce lawyer, a private investigator, and figure out a way to maintain custody of the girls. Girls were my main concern, and the only thing that mattered to me in this world. Hi, baby. How are the girls doing? They miss their mommy. Oh my God, they are all I think about all day long, and of course you too. I can't wait to hug you when I get home. I'm going to give you the warmest kiss you've ever received. I played along. Oh baby, I think about you all day, and I can't wait to hug my loving, sexy wife. Soon, baby, we'll be together again. Somehow I held it together, and the call lasted exactly 15 minutes. At 5:15, she ended the call and said, I love you, David. I need to go now. The bus leaves back to the hotel, and I need to leave. I'll write to you later. I love you. Another easy-to-tell lie. She was definitely good at it. I love you too, baby. More than you'll ever know. The pain of her lies and deceit has now been replaced by contempt, anger, and revenge. I was going to destroy this woman and make her pay for her lies and deceit. I truly loved this woman with all my heart, and it was the hardest thing I have ever had to do. I met her at the airport, and she hugged me and kissed me just like she promised. Either she was a better actress, or she really loved me that much. Was she just using Jonathan for sex? I continued to be confused by her antics. She spent an hour with the girls and enjoyed being with them. That night in bed, she was overly affectionate and repeatedly told me how much she missed me and the girls, and she hated that she was away from us for so long. She said that all she thought about was being with me like this, now, in bed, holding each other. She was gentle, loving, and completely different from the woman who was at the fair. I was loving too, and I really enjoyed being with her that way. It felt good, and I wanted it to be real because being with her is how I wanted to spend my life. But I knew it would all be over soon. I never let her know what I learned, and I gave her my love and satisfied her every night. Anyone who saw us would think we had the most amazing relationship and would be jealous of our love for each other. This went on for 3 months, and I tried to look for any signs of an affair, but there was nothing to point to. She returned home from work at the same time every evening, no unusual phone calls or text messages. I even thought that maybe it was all a mistake and everything would work out. Mr. Bryce, a private investigator, called me and made an appointment for the next day. I drove downtown to their office and sat in their conference room. Good afternoon, David. Good to see you again. It's good to see you, Mr. Bryce. David, I wish I had nothing to report, and I wish I could tell you that you were wrong, but unfortunately, I have bad news. Are you ready to see our investigation? I sighed and said yes. I hoped for the best, but I also knew what was going on between Kim and Jonathan. Mr. Bryce produced a thick leather 3-ring binder and placed it in front of me. There were several sections with tabs labeled text messages, voice transcripts, video calls, phone call transcripts, and photos. Mr. Bryce, before we reveal this, I am very confused because for the past 3 months, I have been closely monitoring her movements and schedule, and this is nothing unusual. She was the perfect wife and lover, and nothing makes sense. Well, let me walk you through this and see if anything clears up. I stopped looking at cloud files because my heart couldn't handle the texting and prayed for the best. Of course, this was not meant to be. There were more than 75 pages of text messages, 25 pages of emails, 75 pages of time-stamped photos of them going in and out of hotel rooms together. There were over 82 video calls and 50 pages of phone conversations. Kim and Jonathan have been visiting this motel at least 4 times a week for the past 3 months. You can see their photos every day at 1 p.m. They spent an average of 2 hours together during each visit. It seems that for the past month there have been 2 men who have been visiting your wife 4 times a week. Do you recognize this man? Oh my God, is this Jason Sinclair? Is he the CEO of her company? Are you saying she's cheating on me with 2 guys and one of them is the CEO? Sorry to have to tell you this, but based on text messages, phone calls, and videos, he is clearly having a sexual relationship with your wife. The video call labeled balcony actually captured him making love to your wife as she leaned over the railing. I think they felt untouchable and didn't realize they were being filmed. Our 8K video captured close-ups of their faces, and our audio captured them as well. He played the video on the 80-inch display. There was Kim, my wife, leaning over the railing with her CEO standing behind her. I felt nauseous. I had to leave the room for a few minutes to recover. I went back to the conference room and forced them to continue because now I wanted to see what she was doing.